Hey everybody, so we got another piece of art from the collective unconscious, and this one is found in Hajdúdorog Cathedral in Hungary, and this was painted somewhere around the end of the 18th century. And this one right here, and as you will notice, these particular paintings continue to carry the same theme. We have some really interesting things to take a look at on this one, and I've got an additional image to show you as well to kind of back up some of the stuff on this. So this is actually called Jacob's Ladder, which is in the church, and the first thing I've got up here for you are the top pieces. And what you'll notice on the original picture is you have your triangle right here, your golden triangle, and his arm is reaching right out into the middle of it, right out into the middle of the trapezium area. So as we move along, we can see our triangle, and we can see it right here as well, and we can see our dark area right here, and we can see it right here as well, and we can see how it opens up into light right here, and it does the same thing right here, and we'll notice that that follows all the way through. Same thing. And we've talked about this in another one as well. So here's our Orion Nebula all the way through. Okay, so let's move down to this portion of it so we can get a better zoom in on it. Here's our triangle. You can see the orange triangle forming a corner right here. It comes down at a very specific angle, same as the angle that you see right here on this one. And the reason why this angle is the same every time is because if you're looking up into the sky facing directly south, when Orion comes up in the sky and it's pointed in a vertical position in the sky, when it's vertical in the heavens, then that means that the face or the profile of this face is pointed directly to the right. And that's the way that I find that all of these unconscious paintings are. They're painted as if the person's face is pointed directly to the right. Not up, not down, directly to the right. And that's the reason why these angles remain the same every time. Notice where his hand is putting. He's putting his hand right where that vortex is located inside there. And so we're just going to kind of move down. So another thing you can take a look at, if you take a look at his elbow, how his elbow sticks out, that pattern is seen all the way through. There's his elbow again. And on the last one, you can see the same elbow angle right here. The next thing that you see right here is you see this little angel girl. And you can see her manifesting. Take a look at her face because this area right here surrounds her face like hair, and you can see that you can start to see now what the Orion Nebula is versus her, and you can see that it's repeated. And the location on all of these is the same. Angles of the triangle are the same. The dark area right here is the same. The light area right here is the same. His elbow is the same. All of these areas are the same. And here is a nice little one right here that you can see with her manifested all the way through. And you can see the angle of the triangle coming up the same all the way through each time. Right here on this one in particular, I wanted to show you the actual corner, and then it wraps around this dark area, and it does the same thing on all these all the way through, as you can see. So the significance here, I want you to notice right up here at the top left, we have a ladder. Now we already know that this area in the Orion Nebula represents the pineal gland. And what we're looking at here, remember, theme is important when we take a look at these things. And we're taking a look at Jacob's Ladder. The Orion Nebula is a brain. Let's take a look at that real quick. Here's all our areas mapped out that you see right here, and you're going to notice the brain stem coming up and how it comes up at an angle right here. This area that you see right here that's dark is the same thing as this area that you see right here is light. We can check that looking at these two things right here. Here's your vortex, here's your pineal gland. Here's your triangle going all the way through. Same thing with the angles right here. Here's your quadrigeminal lamina, this wavy line coming right here, and the same thing that you see right here as well. So you can see these two areas are the same. Now on this particular painting, we see the ladder coming up this area right here to the right side of the pineal gland. Just to the right of it, you see? And so when we take a look at this thing, well, what is just to the right of the pineal gland? We have the brain stem. And here's where it gets interesting. Because we know that the Orion Nebula is a brain, and because we know that he painted the Orion Nebula, then what is Jacob's ladder showing us? Can we test our theory? Can we find out if that ladder is at the same angle as the brainstem? One thing you can notice right here, there's a couple of things you can notice. The way the brainstem, or the way this area comes up right here. Let's take a look real quick. So I performed a test, and I knew I was going to be right on this test. This right here is showing you that the brainstem that you see right here before it curves is at a 90-degree angle. And I knew that if I did that, that the angle that we would actually see when the ladder is on it, the ladder follows the exact same angle as what we see on the brainstem. See right here? And so what Jacob's ladder is actually showing us here, and if you'll notice too, this area, this right here is the pons, this area that gets wider. So it comes up right here, and then you have this larger area, and that's the pons. Well, you'll notice that on the painting it does the same thing. The white area gets larger right here. But it's their ladder is moving all the way up to the area which is the triangular golden area, which is the pineal gland. And you'll notice that that ladder follows the same angle all the way through. So that is one of the ways that you test a scientific theory, is making predictions like that. And I knew that since we were looking at a brain, since they painted the Orion Nebula, I suspected that if I plugged in the brainstem where it was perfectly vertical, that the angle that we would see right here would match the angle of the ladder moving up to the pineal gland. And sure enough, it did. So that's what I wanted to show you tonight. Here it is again. It's called Hajdúdorog Cathedral, and it's in Hungary, and it was painted somewhere towards the end of the 18th century, which is the late 1700s. You guys have a great evening, and I'll talk to you soon.